last week they had Stone Cold up against the ropes, and then the dead guy came in,
Well, that's supposed to be
and
the higher power. So that's who's been ordering the Undertaker to do all these dastardly things like kidnapping Stephanie and putting Stone Cold on a symbol and all that. He reveals his face to Austin and Austin alone. And Meltzer would say at the time in the crowd, fans thought it might actually be Vince under the hood. And of course, people were speculating, oh, it could be Linda, could be Stephanie herself.
yep.
We know it's actually going to wind up being Vince, but there's been lots of discussion. Hey, what if it was going to be your great close personal friend, Christopher Daniels? And when I sort of mentioned that to you a few weeks ago, it was almost like that was new information to you. You've seen and spent some time with Chris. You ever talked to him about this higher power business?
No, but I am going to next time I see him.
Yeah.
Was there a chance that they were going to bring him in and do that, or just it was speculation?
It was certainly speculated and discussed. And I mean, I recently did a sit down interview with Midian for adfreeshows.com. And he had his theories about that too. But he too had heard the Christopher Daniels stuff, but felt like it might be a stretch at the time.
Mm-hmm. Maybe so, because Christopher had just been
Independent.
independent, right? So what would have it meant on a big scale, right? Because just because of his independent work.
I think Midian was very tactfully and respectfully saying, "Hey, man, you got these monsters like Viscera, and I mean even Midian himself. I mean he's like 6'5", and then you got the Undertaker. I mean these are huge, towering, hulking men. And respectfully, Christopher Daniels is not a 7-foot guy.
Yeah,
So I think he thought, hey, we're all on bended knee to a guy who is not as tall as us. And that wasn't exactly what was said, but it was certainly what I picked up more so than, hey, he wasn't quite yet a national name. I just think they were concerned, or not, they were concerned. I think Midian was suggesting that perhaps Vince felt like the optics of that. Because we've all heard that Vince is sort of the land of the giants forever and ever.
mm.
I mean, here he is coming out in a wife beater right now. Got to show those guns off.
So was he the in this is 99, right?
Yes.
So the Mr. McMahon character has already been played, right?
Yeah. He's been doing the Mr. McMahon stuff since '97.
Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm here at the Boston Garden, where in many years from now, Mercedes Monet is going to debut. And I'd just like to say that she left us because of creative problems, but there have been a lot of creative problems in pro wrestling as long as I've been here. That's why I hired Bruce Pritchard to help with the creative process. And of course, the reason I hired Bruce Pritchard was because of his association with Conrad Thompson.
Oh my God.
And Conrad Thompson, to me, is one of the more creative geniuses in all of pro wrestling.
Gee.
Next to, let's see, Dusty Rhodes, George Scott.
Oh Lord.
Uh, next to
The great Tony Khan.
the great Tony Khan. Next to Eric Bischoff. Next to Pat Patterson. And next to many of the geniuses in the business. I've often called on Conrad Thompson throughout the years as saying, Conrad, can you help me out with this angle?
Oh,
And Conrad would say, no, I've got a mortgage. I've got to sell.
sure.
Then I thought, well, there is another guy out there, and his name is Dave Silva.
No, no, no.
Okay. And Conrad said, you want me to call on him to help with the creative? And I said, no, I just like you to kick him in his fat ass for general purpose.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm down.
And Conrad said, okay, I will. And, but first I have to send him back to Texas where he fucking belongs.
Wow. You're nailing it.
Thank you very much. And as for all those signs out there, thank you for the signs. I really appreciate it. Is there any Eric Bischoff signs out there? Any Eric Bischoff signs? Uh, well, as you know, Eric has come out on his show and is revealed who the higher power is. Uh, I'm not so sure I've got the timing right on this, but I just like to say to you, Eric, get ready, wear a fucking helmet because the shit's going to get real in 2000.
Wow. Well done, Tony. What a promo. It's been a while since you cut a long, lengthy Vince McMahon promo here on the program.
And
So
I
thank
just
you.
like to say
Oh, thank you.
that even though I get cut off sometimes, and I'm not talking about with the pussy.
Oh, Lord. Have
Okay.
mercy. Lord. Lord. Lord.
I'm talking
Help me,
about
Jesus.
I'm talking about being cut off by Conrad
Help me.
because I was yet to be done. I just want to say that here in this ring right now, I'm going to buy the entire WCW, the entire. Yep. Whoop. Who the hell is this?
I think that's the Undertaker. Oh, it's his own son, Shane McMahon.
What the hell does he want?
He's
Shane.
here. I think he's got a word about his
Uh-huh.
sister and his brother-in-law taking over the company.
Okay.
What do you think Shane's saying about all that?
And looking around, close up, dad.
It's like an extra from Dick Tracy right now with that pinstripe
Yeah, he
suit on.
does. Yeah, looking around. Dad,
Oh,
Dad, Dad, you motherfucker! I heard I was adopted. Is that true? Yes. Yes. So, yes, it is, son. You were adopted. Well, just let me say that if I was adopted, I got news for you. In about 30 years, you're going to be senile. Got it? Old, decrepit. It happens to all of us. Excuse me while I stick this microphone down my throat. And I also want to say that people have been wondering who the higher power is. Could it be Christopher Daniels? Could it be Conrad Thompson?
Oh,
Let me
God.
stick this microphone down my throat. Could this be, I don't know. Hang on, Tony can't talk. He's got a beagle's nose up his ass.
A beagle's nose up your ass?
Well, I mean, she's come up behind the chair and got her nose right here. Here she is.
Do you think it's because I mean, I don't know that everybody listening to this knows this, but it's well known inside the wrestling world that you don't wipe, that you just, you know, let it go with God and it turns into like peanut brittle in your drawers.
You know what I just realized?
What's that?
This is about a week after Owen Hart died.
Yeah, they're in the middle of a big ugly mess for all that at this very moment. Like, you know, Vince showed up to the funeral and boy, Martha was not happy. Didn't want any of
Wow.
the footage to air, all that stuff.
It was like at the end of May.
Tony,
Yeah.
give everybody a time code. Let them know where you are.
I don't know because I'm getting the spinning wheel of death. Are you getting that too?
I did too, so I had to go back. So listen, guys, we're trying to watch it along with you, and we hope you are too at June 6th, or I'm sorry, June 7th, 1999.